Ascension.
Welcome to Game-Geki, the show that moves ever closer to a final fate. And I say that because this question is actually a final fate question. I didn't really pick up on that on the yesterday's episode. So whatever we do to other Brit is probably gonna, impact her fate in some manner. A final fate, so to speak. So pre-show is just wrapped up, and we've arrived ready for the show. I'm DK, joined as always by Silent Hill Ascension. No doubt today's show will be an amazing one. Still keeping an eye out for the titular promised DK UK cameo, but we'll see. Let's zoom in on the show here. The chat, of course, devolving into stickers. Let's throw a few in just to add my 2 pence. Or is it 3 pence? Better throw a gem in. Because you know how Bob Marley likes his muffins with jam in. Jam in! And you hope you like jamming too. He's not selfish.
I was working late that night. We all were back then. Me, Toby, Rachel.
Rachel worked there?
Everyone worked there. Why not?
She was a suit. She's always been ambitious, assertive. It's why I liked her. She liked me because I wasn't. Anyway, I'm coming off my break when I hear the alarms. I run onto the floor, and the guys are already trying to contain the furnace. Your brother would have been there. Firefighting. Toby's job was to keep an eye on the furnace temp. I go to find him, but he's passed out drunk at his station.
Damn it,
I try
Toby.
to shut everything down, but it's too late. There was this sound. This ungodly sound. Try to get out. The doors are stuck. And then... You ever seen a guy melt? Right in front of you?
Wouldn't be a pretty sight, I'm pretty sure.
Screams. The smell. That what you wanted to hear?
The old steel mill incident.
Eric,
Now you know. Let's go find Rachel.
Those mysterious shadows. Damn, bleeding out.
Blood.
Rachel!
Damn it, she's
Now I
committed
have
this
your keys.
ritual.
Bring me my daughter, or I'll keep taking your friend's keys. Everyone I get my hands on.
What are you doing?
Going mad, why not?
Making an example of them.
Yeah. An example of what to do to our daughter. Who they still have, by the way.
If we get Faith back, Krista says we can save her from the withering.
I've been studying Radcliffe's texts. I think I know how to perform Ascension.
How do we even get to her? Faith's in the steel mill, surrounded by those freaks. And there's just 4 of us.
The machinery at the mill, do you think it still works?
No, no way.
They rebuilt the furnace before the owners decided to shutter the plant. It works.
Rachel.
We gotta break
You know.
into the old
I
mill.
know you love Faith more than anything, and that we can't leave her at their mercy.
It's okay, Eric.
No! No, it's not!
The chat will be upset because they were wanting more still Dylan action.
You can't ask me to do this, Rachel.
gotta be done.
Do you remember what you said the day I told you I was pregnant? You said you knew it was a girl. You already had a name picked out. You said, despite everything you've had to endure, fleeing your country, the accident, the mill closing, you always had faith that things would be okay. I always thought I was supposed to help you become strong. But I was wrong. You're not weak, Eric. You're a survivor. Our daughter needs that strength now.
Okay. But how?
I'll be the bait. Lure them into place.
No.
Drop a
I could be
big
putting all
breadcrumb
you
of
in danger
fingers.
as well. And Faith.
I'll get both of us out of there first. Everything always turns out okay, right?
Rach. When the accident happened, where were you again?
Out of town. Trying to broker the sale of the mill. You know that.
Broker and sale at the mill, eh? That was a redo. Chat won't be terribly pleased with that. It wasn't an episode of action at all. So someone's finger did get cut off at least. So there's that. Today's endurance cameos. We got Lordy himself, Lordy, Tech, and Ches Rainbow. Does that mean people can rename themselves to things, or did someone like join after the fact with a new character, just so they could be Lordy Lord? In fact, they're coming up right now. There they are. And there they go. Greatest cameo, that. Thing you gotta know about the endurance scene, it's a regular old house of horrors. And we got Brit, because, you know, her Final Fate's coming up, so everything, it's all to play for with Brit.
What is that?
Although, she's surely quite safe. Quite safe. Oh, come on, I got that. I haven't the strength today to tap that as furiously as I need to. Oh, Tech. Give me that shotgun of yours. Perfect, what red anyway. Damn. Careful, first person. Oh. It's a really bad time to sneeze. Still recovering from that sneeze. I really find the timing for those. Gotta get in early and often. Almost, but not. Kind of like that early one, but not too much. The line one. The line ones are easier. I was randomly reminded of the first couple of days of these endurance sequences where they kind of just looped around for 10 minutes. That was really strange. It just went on forever and ever. It was all you can eat endurance back in the old Wild West of Ascension. There's rainbow in this room. Oh, Ches Rainbow. That's a cameo right in the succeeded section. Oh, that's second cameo. Oh, I leveled up on all 288. Apparently, the 300 is the highest level you can get, so, you know, we've got to hope we can hit 300 before the end of the show. That's to truly be counted as the Lord of Lordy. Plot armor, +1. That's right, you got to build up that plot armor. The shrinking circle isn't the most flawed one in the system. And Brits was full of it. Witty. Did alright in that one. And I think I've done relatively okay for quite a while now. I think they have fixed it, you know. Squank's gone, I'm afraid. QTEs overlapped with the UI, and I clicked on to customize. Oh, shit. I remember on day one, I followed the arrows right off the window. Aww.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension
Tightened it
show.
up.
Still Eduardo, still Noah. We're not replaced with over Eduardo and Foa. Now, we saw a lot of... we talked about Brit a ton in our pre-show, and we'll definitely recap that at the end, right? Because we're going to have to talk about Friday's show at the end of this post-show. But in the meantime, free scenes in Pennsylvania tonight, Noah.
Oh my god, girl, hold on, because I'm sweating here, because this was a lot.
Packing out the Lordy Lord fan. You know what that means. I gotta
trauma.
play the fan
And we're
animation,
gonna,
which I never did
review
bother
that in a bit,
improving.
so we'll
But
talk
there you
about it
go.
more, but,
Fan stuff. There you go. That's cool.
Rachel. Rachel, remember our finger buddy? You know, that's
Oh yeah. Like she decided to become the thing.
yeah, she's like the collector basically.
Chop finger, buddy.
I love that she didn't cut off her own finger. God forbid.
No, she did her eye. That's more than enough.
That really is more than enough, and it did maybe bring Faith back. By the way, I am curious. I do not know this, but I'm curious if, like, when the kids were in the other world, if Orson and Faith were hanging out.
Yeah, you know, did they have a play date there? It's a big question.
Right.
But
They're probably in a horrible.
The fact that, I like the good leadership quality in Rachel, right?
Kids
it's
are
like she took
probably
her
in
own
a
eyes. You
trance.
can't really criticize her when she takes her finger. It's kind of like, look, I did what I had to do.
Cool,
so you're
trance.
Follow now. You know, there's no hypocrisy or whatever. She's ready to do what needs to be done.
Let me get my fan
She will
real
spare
quick.
No other person's
Hold up.
expense.
Yeah, no other person's appendages either. Now, today, our video premiere today, production's going to put that on. That's actually going to be the full scene playing behind us. We actually had a really serious scene tonight where Eric and Nora talked.
Broke
right? And
detail,
Eric
the
revealed
backstory
his
of the
perspective,
steel
his
mill, setting up.
his
I guess there'll be an
his
assault on the
truth,
steel mill
essentially,
in the next
steel mill
couple days.
Accident. Something we've been like kind of
I guess the
building
assault
up
on the
towards
steel
in
mill is
story,
the
and we're
finale.
Finally getting the details exactly of what happened and a lot of understanding on why Toby kept on drinking there.
Right. This is a
Suppose
bit
that-
mysterious. And again, drinking, you know, can lead to many destructive things, including killing all your friends in a horrible, fiery furnace.
Finale, I can't spell.
I love
I'm just
the
going to write it
take
as
was
is
like,
and
have
hope
you
it's
ever
right.
smelled people melt? I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the line was, "You ever see a guy melt right in front of you?" Like I'm sure, and
I
unfortunately,
was just
not
thinking
the
of
fun
the
kind.
smell. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's not. Yeah, it's more like the smell and all that.
Does,
Not great.
Terminator
you
count?
know, but like I think this is actually. I know Nora's not one of our featured characters, but this
He
was actually
melted.
kind of a nice moment as well for her, because like finally she got someone to to talk about this. She's been seeking so long for like just someone to be human and say, yeah, what happened. Finally for her, it's like great. Finally,
Whoever
and I relate.
smelled
Like
it.
Nora and Noah again
Dealt it.
are aligned in this. I also have been dying to know what was the fiery accident at the mill, and now I know it's our buddy, our beloved Toby. We don't know.
Have you
if it's
smelt
fully
the
his
melt?
responsibility, but for sure, he got drunk, he crashed, and Turbo Bastard, I have smelt the melt.
But right, Toby was drunk. We don't know if he was responsible. That's a different.
Right, he was just drunk. Maybe he was just drunk. You know, we don't know.
Was it ordinary
You know,
drunk?
Chernobyl
Or
didn't happen in a day. It
did
takes
he
a
go
village.
through some shit?
Right.
Or was he
you know,
already a total
I
drinker
mean,
that
yeah,
time?
Exactly. So, but I think one of the key things about the scenes tonight, though, was that last line we got to see when Eric asked Rachel when the accident happened.
Insurance
where
plan.
were you again?
Piecing everything
"Oh,
together
you know,
that
I was out of town and I was selling. You know, I was trying to sell the thing.
She
It was
was
mighty sus.
No, she was. First of all, you're trying to sell this literally flaming piece of.
figured it out, I think.
Death
That seems
trap.
pretty plausible.
Yeah, trap garbage, whatever. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, sure, who wouldn't want that? But okay, we're gonna touch on that in a second. But decisions, endurance scenes, and puzzles all contribute to whether a character will face redemption, suffering, or domination in Silent Hill Ascension, if they will burn in a fiery furnace, or if their finger will be collected by the collector or Rachel. All of this has to do with our fate and hope system.
Collection
Decided
is
that
due.
across the length of the story, a character's hope needs to be high enough for them to survive a crucial story moment. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this interactivity that we have here.
Right. Because the thing is, Eric compared to Britt, and Eric's final fate decision has come up. We're going to talk about the decision in a couple of minutes. It's up if you do want to check it. It's what will Eric do about Rachel's plan. So don't worry, we will break it down. We'll go into it just if you're curious. You can check out now. The big difference with Eric's take to Britt is Eric's hope not so good. So gonna be maybe a different outcome to Britt depending on how things shake down, depending on what you as an audience decide.
Yes.
But
Let
again,
us
when we reach
review
Final Fate,
the
it is that
situation
life
with
or death moment,
people's hopes.
We saw it happen with
So
Toby.
I'm
We saw
gonna
it happen
flip
with
over to the
Carl.
other
We're
screen.
gonna see it happen with Britt on Friday, and with Eric, that's Monday.
Hop
It's
into the
gonna
library
be a
early.
couple of,
Review the situation.
you know, those shows you're not gonna really want to miss because you know we
And,
said there were weeks to
it's
go.
kind of a
because
split,
the
as they
last
said in the
cinematic
pre-show.
tenure. Well,
Negative for Hernandez. Positive
we've
for
had our
Johansson.
time with Eric. We definitely had our joys. Eric had many joys, as did the people around him. And you know, Britt honestly had a lot less joys. I will be honest.
And the other question.
Britt did not go through a
It's
lot.
also a
Like
final
Eric,
fate question. Pretty much
building
building up to the end of the show now.
That's it. We've had
And
a lot.
ends
He's
in
had
4
time to
days.
shop around. He's had time to like decide
And what will
wanted to
Eric
be.
do about
But we're
Rachel's
kind of
plan?
at the moment
Leave
where
Rachel to the
his,
fanatics. Execute
well,
Rachel's
what
plan.
happens to
Or
him
on the
is
victims.
gonna be final and be part of our.
We got to
our
execute the
story.
plan.
Right, and
That's
I
what the
also,
plan's
by the
for.
way, I love that Rachel was like, I love
She's
in
got a
their
plan.
conversation with Eric and Rachel, that basically he was drawn to her because she's such a badass boss, and she was drawn
actually
to
a
him
little bit of
because he's
damnation in him.
not.
It's like I
Yeah,
look for
most of the
that. I look for
characters
that
pretty
quality
much
in a
all
man.
through and
Yeah,
through
yeah.
redemption.
Yeah, and but really, honestly, controversially, I kind of like Rachel more the more gnarly she gets. I don't know why.
I mean, as a character, it's great, but like, it's a pretty abusive stance.
Eric did
frankly.
nothing wrong, and you all turned on
I
him.
want someone I can boss around. Like, oh.
Well, you know, Eric did
Listen, I'm no angel.
say nasty things to
That's fair.
Rachel.
But whether you're an angel or a demon, you're going to talk about Eric's character profile because that's going to be up on screen. Yeah, let's recap kind of Eric's story
And
so
guys
far
like that
because
in a
it's not
woman.
going to
Ha
last a
ha
lot
ha
longer.
ha.
Okay, let's recap Rooney. So, general sentiment for Eric has been strong redemption and negative hope. That's risque. Top decision. Whose side will Eric tell Xavier is on? And you chose Faith, which was the redemption
First him in
option
Klops,
at 67%.
then the
The
March.
most heated
Eric's got
decision,
issues, yeah.
which is why I'm using my fan
Yeah.
because I'm literally sweating
Mark
right now.
killed it.
Has been how will
For,
Eric respond to Xavier's invitation?
Eric!
As y'all know, he offered himself as the satyr, which was the damnation option. But oh, what a sweet damnation! If I gotta be damned, well then I'd rather be damned having a morgy with you.
That's the satyr.
That was overstopped Krista from participating, which was the
Damned.
redemption option, with less than
That's the
0.1%
satyr.
a difference.
Can't spell satyr.
Yeah. So a lot of Eric's arc. So Eric's arc is
Beneath
very interesting because lack of
Xavier.
His
response
arc
and a
is
lack
better
of-
than Noah's arc, you know.
Fair
Sorry.
enough. That's fair enough. I just have to let that one hang. It's just, you know, like, fundamentally, he's a character who couldn't decide what to do. He couldn't decide whether to cheat
They
or not
tossed
with
and
his
turned
spouse,
on
couldn't
that
decide
table.
whether to stay or not with his spouse. Couldn't decide anything. Kind of let things happen around him. Lack of a spine. Look, getting a little bit more in the last scenes, but there was one thing that Eric has been from start to finish, which is he's always cared for Faith. He's always been like when it comes to
That's right.
Faith,
Cared
he
for the
takes
kid.
decisions. He has been an active, proactive fodder. When Faith is like, "Oh, I might have to do bad stuff," he's like, "No, don't worry, sweetie, I'll take care of it." Bam, bam,
Right.
or bam,
Right.
talk, bam. You know, like he takes, you know, he protects his daughter.
Let's
I like it.
move
I
on
like
into
seeing
today's
the fatherhood aspect of
amazing
Eric is
mini
really
game
strong.
action.
And it's the one aspect of the character that defines him is really the relationship with his daughter. Because to be fair, he doesn't like get bossed. The audience could have chosen that he gets
Today,
bossed
he's just
around
Hashi.
better, but in the end, he's more like a fodder in trouble, right? It's more like he's trying to do the best by his child. And that's a really important thing because, you know, Eric is definitely defined by his relationship with the women in his life, literally. One bossing him around and one telling him you deserve better until Eric's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you, maybe not. I'm not sure here. But with his daughter, it's always been kind of like, no, definitely.
There we go.
Because he
Hashed
wasn't
up.
thinking of himself. When he's like, in comparison with Rachel, with Krista, or to degree with
Piles,
Noah,
let's hope it's not
that there
another
was any
stucco
relationship side,
puzzle.
but just that he was like,
Roll
you
3
know,
by 3.
it was with
Stephen
himself, so
partially
he didn't know
solved
what
for
to
me.
do. But when it was with his daughter,
What
it's
more
not
could
about
I
him,
possibly
it's
ask
about
for?
her. And when it's about the other person, Eric's character did shine. No matter what else happened with that character, I think that was a really important part.
That one.
Right, and also, you know, we got a glimpse of why he named Faith. He knew already that he wants to name his child Faith because it was the faith that he can have a better life. That
Faith, don't fail me
in
now.
his home country that he had to leave. Meeting Rachel, they're gonna have faith together, you know.
So they gotta have faith.
So we really got a glimpse into that. Even though I do have to recall that Faith was like, "Daddy, you always let the bad things happen." Well.
Damn, you calling me an asshole?
Like, she knows
I'm
what's
afraid
up.
I am,
She's like,
father.
Look, you're fine with me, but what are you doing with other people?
Exactly. Yeah, she knows. She knows. But let's talk about our ongoing decision here.
Well, opening one, the one in Eric's
sorry.
Final Fate.
Oh, lordy lord, I'm sorry.
Lordy.
This was
Lord.
Okay, let's talk
Yeah.
about our opening
Good Lord,
decision
Lord.
here. Thank you
Damn,
so much
this
for
is
that.
proven to
What
be
will
a
Eric
more of a
do
harrowing ordeal
about
than I thought it would be.
Rachel's plan? That's the final fate. As maybe you recall, the plan is basically to reinstate the furnace. It must be a good idea. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah. Like you know, you were talking. Speaking of the arc, there might have been another pop culture allusion with opening.
Reinstate the
Oh
furnace.
yeah,
Or
for
like,
sure.
You
But
ever
there
see
also-
someone melt?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, maybe we all will get to see this. But so the options here are leave Rachel to the fanatics, or execute Rachel's plan, or warn the victims. So okay, we have our crazy
If it
Rachel
goes
on
wrong,
Rampage again. She was kind of like,
we
you know,
could
she was a bit lost
have
for a few weeks there.
ourselves
She was kind of
delicious
like trying to understand, going into the
Rachel
other world all
melt.
the time, hanging out with Astrid, like giving her a high five, going back, you know. And now she's like, no more nonsense. I'm fucking, pardon my French, taking matters into my
Hard
own
on,
hands.
yeah.
Or
Foul
yeah,
language,
yes,
language.
I mean, you know,
Although
was looking
she
for
did
the
say,
man with 6 fingers. Now Rachel's the woman with 6 fingers and 1 eye.
Oh,
So, you know,
what was
we're
it?
kind
A
of,
word
like,
involving slag
circling
the other day,
around
a
with
slag
a
pit
lot
the
of
other day. So
different
you know,
ways to look
you
at
already
this.
crossed
Now,
that bridge.
You're right. Rachel's plan is a little artisanal cooking, which got a question like, and it's even worse, right? That it's at the site where such horror actually happened, wanting to unleash it again and again. That line, right? When the
Horror
accident
begets
happened, where
more
were you
horror.
again?
I
have
was
a
making
feeling,
real estate deals, honey.
yeah, I do. I have a feeling we might. I literally don't know, but I wonder if we're gonna get more info on where she might have been that day.
Right. I don't know. I think we might, because it kind of seemed that way. But
Rachel is the face of a
whatever
scam
it
artist.
was,
No doubt it was
sucks. And I
all
have
an
to
insurance
mention,
fraud.
this is a very Silent Hill moment also, when we are, you know, dealing with the fiery pits of the town again. We're revisiting the furnace. And you're right. Like, it's kind of a wood fire human. A fire... How do you call it? It's like there's a nice name for the cooking.
Yeah, it's you can smell it from afar. That's important, right?
Applewood,
Ooh,
Eric.
could smell
Yes, no,
what
very
the
important.
rock
So
is cooking.
So that's important, right? Is like
There you go.
what
Mini
I do
games
like
dealt
about this,
with.
right? And it harkens back to Eric's character before Eric was one of our featured characters. Before our,
Claim that. Oh yes, I got to contribute to a decision and earn a reward.
well, Rachel was the one taking the decisions.
What's that me for? Hello? Knock knock.
For Eric, and this is where Eric finally gets a chance to take a decision in regards to Rachel, where he's going to
best
be
way
the
in on
one
this
to
one
take
then.
the because we've seen a few of Eric's decisions, and in the end, Rachel's like, yeah, whatever. Like, I know what you're gonna say.
Execute
fine,
the
whatever.
plan.
Whereas this one, he's
And
probably
meanwhile,
gonna have
on
to
the
take
other one,
action, and it's a final fate decision, which means we're probably gonna
kill.
see a lot of that.
Always
That's gonna be
kill.
pretty strong
Violence
action right
begets violence.
Right.
Can't
It's the
possibly see
final
any problem with that.
countdown, you know? Da-da-da-da. Sorry, I don't know if anyone
Inviting
has
the
been
worst
introduced
of
to
outcomes.
Europop, but I
If we do, I'm
recommend...
sure they
I am
have.
familiar with that song, yes.
And if they haven't, they leave a blessed life. We need to protect everybody. No, I do actually like Europop, but different times. Now, let's remind Noah as well. Friday's a big show, so Brit's Final Fate. We also have obviously our guest Stefan coming up, but it's a bit of a particular guest. So production's going to put the details about our Ask Stefan segment on screen. Noah.
Ascension
yes, so
X
we
Facebook.
have our little one-off segment here of Ask Stefan your story questions. So our creative director Stefan Bugai will answer.
Gonna
your
be
story
the
questions
final
on
girls.
April 12th on Friday. Silent Hill Ascension on X and Facebook, Silent Hill Ascension on Instagram and TikTok. Drop us your questions. We will have questions in the chat as well during the interview. But the more
It'll
we get
all
in
be
advance,
twists
the
and
more we can
turns
kind
to the
of,
very end.
set the mood,
No.
turn on the candles, turn on the furnace. I'm fine. I'm sweating. But
No,
please.
and you'll be back to ask this stuff too, so it's all good.
Right, I will be, but be sure to be here for that, because it's a really great opportunity to ask our creative director
Stoke the
questions
fires.
that my mind is too feeble to even answer. So this is a really good opportunity. Don't miss it. We have Final Fate for Brit, and we have
No one escapes the heat. That's what we always say here on
Be
Game-Geki.
sure, do not miss that. But let's talk a little bit again about what happened, because we had a lot on the pre-show as well with Brit. Brit basically has to decide what to do.
No one escapes the heat.
She threw again another bottle, smashed it, but Doppelganger Brit says, broken glass will not save you. We have to decide what to do with Brit. Make sure to make an impact on that decision. Stick around in the app and production, can you please show us the next show graphic? Let's
Already
go
played
through
all the
it
games.
together.
No need to stick
So
around in
we
the
have
app.
our next pre-show on Friday. Our pre-shows
Actually,
are
there's more Hashi,
5:40
but,
p.m.
you know.
Pacific time, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The show 6 p.m. Pacific time every weekday, and on Friday, an interview / question session Q&A with Stefan Bugay on Friday. So please do not miss this.
Right, and the important part here for that interview is do ask the questions on social if you want it at best answered, because obviously like we'll do our best to kind of answer the questions live in the chat, but a big reason we ask in advance, that gives us time to sift through it, get you the best quality of the answer. So if you really want your narrative questions answered, I strongly recommend doing it tonight, tomorrow.
This is why we didn't like Rachel.
We'll obviously keep an eye out, but the sooner the better.
No
for us
one
to
likes
make
real
sure
estate.
we have a great show for you on Friday. But the thing is, no matter what, you will have a great show on Friday, because again, in the post show, you do get that interview. Our guest Stefan will essentially
Like
answer a lot
Frieza,
of your
the
narrative
emperor of
questions
the
as story's
universe.
kind of coming to a
He
head.
is into real
Because
estate.
it is. We have Brit's Final
The
Fate
ultimate real
playing
estate
out
magnate,
live
as
on
it were.
Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific. You definitely do not want to miss that part.
And here's
of the
Frieza,
show,
there you go.
but, you know,
All right, big guy, whatever turns
you know, that's always worth coming to watch. Now, Friday's a show not to miss. The Monday after, we also get Eric's Final Fates. So remember with Brits, right? It all comes down to this.
That's
right?
true. She's
A lot of
fighting
y'all
a good
obviously
fight.
chose to make it about a binary.
Hashtag Melt
and a
Rachel.
binary is, what will Brit do to stop other Brit from harming Astrid? Kill her or embrace her? That's what's left with you to do until we meet again on Friday. So it was a delight to be with all of you, the audience. Absolutely a delight as usual to be in Noah's company
Much
and
to
with
do.
the audience. Now, I had a great time. I hope you did as well. But our time tonight has come to a close. It is night for me. But whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are across the world, I hope you had a delightful show. And we cannot wait to see you again
a show.
for our live scenes tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, and on our hosted show at 5:40 p.m. Pacific on Friday. Please take care.
All right. And with that, GG to you all. Damn Nation!